guys, welcome back to our channel.
Today we're going to be talking about the ovarian cycle.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment who your favorite anatomy professor this year was.
If you say bacon, she might let you pass the class.
Click the little bell for notifications every time we post because we're trying to get that coin, sis.
And don't forget to give us 5 stars on the clicker. Now, without further ado, let's get on to the video.
The beginning of every new ovarian cycle starts with the follicular phase. This phase of the ovarian cycle can last anywhere from 10 to 14 days, though it does vary from woman to woman. On days 1 to 7 is when menstruation happens. This shedding of the endometrial layer is activated by the absence of both estrogen and progesterone. There are no mature follicles producing estrogen and no corpus luteum producing progesterone and estrogen. All while this is happening, GnRH is released from the hypothalamus, which stimulates the production of FSH from the anterior pituitary gland. This causes the maturing of follicles. At mid-development, around day 7, the maturing follicle starts producing estrogen. Production of estrogen causes the endometrial layer to start building up again, getting ready for possible implantation. At the very end of the phase, there is a giant shot of estrogen and LH.
Day 14 of the ovarian cycle usually marks the start of ovulation. Taking turns alternating each month, one ovary releases a secondary oocyte and the first polar body into the peritoneal cavity. This is triggered by a buildup and the consequent surge in LH that is secreted from the anterior pituitary gland. The oocyte, which is arrested in metaphase 2 of meiosis II, is surrounded by the zona pellucida and the corona radiata. From the peritoneal cavity, the ovulated oocyte is directed to the fallopian tubes by way of fimbriae, where it awaits possible fertilization.
Beginning right after ovulation has occurred, the luteal phase lasts for about 14 days. The previous surge in luteinizing hormone causes the ruptured follicle to transform into a corpus luteum. This newly developed corpus luteum releases inhibin that turns off luteinizing hormone through negative feedback. Estrogen and progesterone then become the hormones that are primarily produced by the new corpus luteum. This brand new surge in estrogen and progesterone stimulates and sustains the endometrial lining in preparation for a possible fertilization. If the released ovum becomes fertilized, then meiosis II will be completed and it will be implanted into the renewed uterus, releasing human chorionic gonadotropin hormone that maintains the corpus luteum and encourages progesterone production. However, if fertilization does not successfully occur within the body's optimal window, then the corpus luteum will degenerate to become the corpus albicans. When the corpus luteum degenerates, usually 14 days into the luteal phase without successful fertilization, progesterone and estrogen levels plummet in preparation for a new cycle. As the luteal phase comes to an end, gonadotropin releasing hormone levels rise. This new and final surge signifies a new beginning for the endless ovarian cycle.
Before a baby girl is even brought into this world, she has formed all of her primordial follicles, which house the primary oocytes. Primordial follicles are 1 cell layer thick. These oocytes will stay in the mitotic stage of prophase 1 until puberty. Throughout the girl's childhood, her primordial follicles grow from 1 cell layer thick to 2, called the primary follicle, which still contains the primary oocyte. Primary follicles continue to grow until they are several follicular cell layers thick, known as the secondary follicle. This follicle still contains the primary oocyte arrested in prophase 1. As the girl becomes a woman and goes through puberty, the secondary follicle develops an antrum and continues to develop, and the follicle is given a new name, antral/Graafian/vesicular follicle. The zona pellucida cell layer provides a way for communication between oocytes and also has a protective function. The corona radiata transfers nutrients to the egg. The vesicular follicle pops during ovulation to release a secondary oocyte. The cell travels into the fallopian tube where it can either be fertilized or shed during the menstrual cycle.
Isn't that great? Let's give ourselves a round of menopause.
We deserve a standing ovulation.
Oh, Amanda, stop overreacting.
Well, thanks for watching and see you never because we're done with anatomy.
Bye.
Bye. I got a paper cut on my lip.
Is this still recording?
Yeah, all the bloopers.
2, 1. Hey sisters, welcome back to our channel. 2, 1. Hey sisters, welcome back to.
Said I.
I said hi.
3,
Oh my god.
2, 1. Hey sisters.
Stop. I'm so
You were doing so well, guys.
I didn't look. Was I supposed to look that way? I didn't either. It's fine.